In some big time breaking news, one of the most talented performers in WWE has demanded his release. Mustafa Ali, former cruiserweight champion, he was at one point slated to be a challenger for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35. What a fall from grace, and it is nothing to do with him and has nothing to do with him as a performer or a wrestler, but it has everything to do with the company that he works for. Let's talk about it. So, Mustafa Ali requested his WWE release today, and it obviously has captivated a lot of people in the wrestling world. A lot of people are out here siding with Mustafa Ali, and rightfully so, because a lot of the reasons he gave, and here's the tweet that he sent out with the graphic. He says, quote, "I am requesting my release from WWE." Very simple. I went on to say in a video graphic that he had posted, "I have a message that is much bigger than my dreams in professional wrestling. Despite my best efforts, I will not be able to deliver that message while working with WWE. Therefore, I am requesting my release." This comes after Mustafa Ali had not been on WWE television since November, which was now 2 months ago. It comes to no surprise that Mustafa Ali might have been aggravated or upset with his current role in the company, not being on TV, not having his creative pitches heard. The reports are coming out now that Mustafa Ali repeatedly went to creative with many ideas, and sometimes those ideas were heard, a lot of times they were not. One of the ideas that was heard, that we all know was definitely heard, was the retribution angle. And for those of you who do not know, the SmackDown hacker angle that led to the retribution debut was all shot, filmed, and produced by Mustafa Ali himself. Mustafa Ali made all of those vignettes of the SmackDown hacker who was going to come and change things or what have you. This big angle, one of the biggest angles of the entire pandemic, belonged to Mustafa Ali. And what happened? They turned it into this. I was almost going to say a riot squad, but it's not even a good pun. But they turned it into this just abomination of an angle that had no heat, that had no substance, that had nothing. Retribution. Retribution happens. Retribution breaks up. I was doing a live stream when that happened, and nobody cared. Nobody cared about Retribution. When you go out and you take Mercedes Martinez and you put her mask on her, and then you say she can't, and then she doesn't wrestle, and she's not even a threat to anyone. Or you do the same thing with T-Bar, or I just, don't get me started on Retribution. Retribution was a bad idea from whoever came up with the idea of them to just be they were an insurgent group, right? An insurgent group that didn't accomplish anything. They didn't do anything. They made zero impact. Okay, so that happens. Then they move on. Mustafa Ali's kind of lost in the shuffle of WWE creative, as many people are. And then they start having him do this angle. Yes, they almost the Muhammad Hassan angle, where he's kind of like rallying against America, talking about his experiences, and then have him be a heel. They didn't learn anything from their past, but I digress. And also, they put him in a feud with Jackson Riker, made Jackson Riker the face and Mustafa Ali the heel. That's WWE for you. That's what they do. There's a lot more coming out, like I said, about this and about Mustafa Ali requesting his release. Again, has not been on television since November. Mustafa Ali was most recently, I believe he was doing some sort of angle. I think he was actually doing an angle with Riker, but I don't really care. I don't care what WWE had him doing. The fact that I don't remember what they had him doing recently as November shows you how just inept they are at keeping stars afloat and keeping stars relevant. That is one of the biggest issues of WWE creative. And make no bones about it, this is not just an issue of Mustafa Ali. This is not just an issue of Mustafa Ali being unhappy. This is an issue of a company, a sports entertainment company that postures as a wrestling company whenever it suits them, that doesn't even produce good entertainment. They don't produce anything funny. They don't produce anything of substance in their storylines. Raw is trash. SmackDown is somehow worse than Raw now. And you have one of the best performers on the planet, Mustafa Ali, one of the best performers on the planet, best performer, one of the best on the mic, one of the best in the ring when he gets a chance to actually wrestle. But no. No. He's the problem. And this is what's happening online right now. I don't give a shit about anyone who says, oh, well, you're a WWE mar or you're an AEW mar. I don't care. WWE's creative stinks. It is trash. It is garbage. When you put someone like Mustafa Ali, who literally gave you gold on a platter, he served you good storylines. He served you great wrestling. He served you so much to work with. And you turn all of that into utter garbage. That's not on him. That's on the company. And the frustration that I know many people have with the WWE, it's not just about the creative process. It's not just about the fact that most of their programming is unwatchable. It's not just about the fact that they literally ruin your favorite wrestlers. And yes, the reason I'm raising my voice, the reason I'm a little passionate is Mustafa Ali was one of my favorite wrestlers, is one of my favorite wrestlers. We talk about representation. Mustafa Ali, he's of Pakistani descent. That means something to me. Mustafa Ali, also, you take that away. Take all that away. Take the representation factor away. Still, one of the best in-ring performers there is in the entire company. One of the best people on the mic when you gave him a chance to speak. Even with the crap you were giving him with Retribution, he still managed to make it sound at least a little appealing. There was so much to work with. And look, just to be clear, he is not left yet. Like, they have not granted his release. So we're in a little bit of a limbo here where there were a few people who've done this in the past. I believe Cody is actually one of the first people to do this in the past, where they just say outright online that they requested their release. Ty Dillinger, now known as Shawn Spears in AEW, did the same thing. Ridiculous you couldn't make this work, especially given the fact that following Elimination Chamber 2019, when Kofi Kingston won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, he only got to his spot in Mania that year because Mustafa Ali was injured and Kofi took his spot, right? So wouldn't it make sense at some point down the line to do a story where Mustafa Ali goes after Kofi Kingston's title, or goes after Kofi Kingston because he took my spot? That should have been me at WrestleMania. That is an easy, that is a lob. That is an easy lob. I am giving you this. You don't have to be that talented of a writer. You don't have to be that talented of a creative fucking genius to know that. You just have to have some common sense and watch the damn product, which unfortunately I've been doing. Which unfortunately, I can't say millions, 1,000,000.1 have been doing weekly, and a lot of people are sick of it. The only reason I watch WWE week to week and keep up with it week to week is because I do a podcast about wrestling. If I didn't, I would not be inclined to watch Raw. I might watch the highlights of SmackDown, and I'll watch the pay-per-views when the card seems good. And I think I speak for a lot of fans out there, and all the WWE fans who want to say that, oh, Mustafa Ali, he knew what he was signing up for. You're right, he knew what he was signing up for, and now he's done. If WWE can release you, given 90 days notice or whatever, wrestlers who are independent contractors, who don't get benefits, who don't get health insurance, who don't get shit from the company, even travel bonuses or whatever. You tell me they shouldn't be allowed to give WWE notice either? Independent contractors. Come on. It's absolutely asinine. Cincy in the chat, you are 100% right. You're 100% right. I am pissed. This is, for me personally, for me personally, I'm pissed that they didn't make Mustafa Ali work. It is almost like The Fiend. This is like there might be people online who don't know, who might not understand this or might not really know the full story here. But this is very similar in the way WWE just messed up The Fiend. Someone who's just giving you creative ideas to work with. Even after you ruin all the good ones, he keeps giving you creative ideas. Bray Wyatt did that. Shit canned. Mustafa Ali did that, and he said, I'm not going to wait till I'm shit canned. I'm going to just demand my release now and move on with my life. We have a few chats here. Races in the chat says, he's likely going to Impact. I don't know where he's going. We could see. Maybe I could see him going somewhere, but WWE have to actually release him first. Races also says, I'm going to say this about WWE. Vince is taking everything down. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. They just don't care. It's complacency. It's complacency. They have a system that for them works, that makes Vince McMahon apparently laugh. They have a system in place where they're getting $1 billion from Fox, where they're getting $1 billion from USA, NBC, Universal, and they're getting $1 billion for the Peacock deal. They're not inclined to really change or do anything if the fans want it. The only way they're inclined to do that is if people at a dramatic rate, stop watching their programming. Races in the chat says, you could turn Ali heel and say Kofi stole my spot. Exactly. You could have turned Mustafa Ali heel and said, Kofi took my spot. That was my spot. The promos would have been great because they would have been grounded in reality, and they would have actually have been meant something. It wouldn't have just been, oh, look at you spilled coffee on me backstage. The junk that these WWE writers do to justify their jobs is just utterly bogus. Like, you get paid money to write this crap? It's crap every week. Let's say it. Let's call it what it is. It's crap every single week. And I feel so bad for any wrestler out there. I feel so bad if you have to go on live TV and do some of the crap that you're asked to do on a weekly basis. I understand these people are making considerable amount of money. And when you sign with WWE, you gotta eat some crap. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? I get it. All right. But how can you justify calling yourself entertainment when nearly everything you do is just bad, unentertaining garbage? That's what it is. It's garbage, man. Like, I'm not even asking for, I want blood and gore in my wrestling. No, I want some actual logic. Is that too much to ask? I want some actual logic. Why is person A mad at person B? And don't tell me Sonya Deville is mad at Naomi because Sonya Deville wants Naomi's spot. Naomi was doing nothing before this. They just put them together. That's what they do every time. They just put people together and say, goddamn, pal, can they coexist? Garbage. And I won't stop saying it. Garbage. My God. There's also a story, and again, it's related to the Mustafa Ali story in general, that WWE, apparently Mustafa Ali, rather, may have had an argument with Vince McMahon. This is according to Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp. An argument with Vince McMahon may have led to Mustafa Ali's WWE absence since November. And there were other things involved as well. The fact that his pitches weren't really being heard. The fact that there was paternity leave situation with him as well. Backstage reaction. It is just garbage. The fact that it came to this point with such a talented wrestler who did everything you asked for him and made some of your crap somewhat good. Actually, I'm not even gonna say good. It's just, I just, what can you say? Like, I'm not crazy, right? People in the chat, please tell me I'm not crazy. I'm not lame. I'm not a shill. It's insane that someone as talented Mustafa Ali would demand his release after all the crap he's been given, or after would demand his release from what's supposed to be the biggest and best wrestling company in the world? What's supposed to be an entertainment company? His talent was squandered. This is someone who came out in the Cruiserweight Classic, did great in that, got signed, made his name in the Cruiserweight tournament, made his name in the Cruiserweight division, and then was so good. He was so good, you couldn't ignore it, and he had his own spot in the main roster. WWE doesn't care. I've said this so many times about the release videos that I've done and all that crap. WWE legitimately does not care. Sean Ross Sapp just updated everyone saying, I'll go ahead and say this much publicly. Mustafa Ali has not been on paternity leave since November. Since November, he has not been on paternity leave. He asked for one show off for that. So Mustafa Ali only took one show off for the paternity leave. But so his absence has nothing to do, apparently, with paternity leave since November. So disgusting, man. I'm just. Who wants to watch? Who wants to watch W? I'm happy. You know what? I'm happy for Mustafa Ali that he has spoken his voice. That he has said what's needed to be said, that he needs to move on for his own sanity, for his own betterment, not outside of pro wrestling as well. Because I promise you, Mustafa Ali, anywhere else, I don't care whether he's wrestling in bingo halls or wherever, he's going to be making bank. And he's going to be doing great stuff. People are going to watch because he's fucking good. My God. I'm happy for Mustafa Ali. I cannot understand that. Understate that, I should say. I hope he gets the release he wants. WWE has obviously not commented on this and probably won't. Well, either two things are going to happen here. One, he's going to get released relatively quickly. Or two, they're just going to let him sit at home. There's only really two things that are going to happen. And for all the people out there who are saying, oh, Mustafa Ali was difficult or hard to work with and all that crap. No. Come on. This man has a golden reputation as far as being just a class act everywhere he's been, with everyone he's met. He's one of the best people there is in pro wrestling. It is just and the lengths that he went to. He auditioned in front of Creative. To turn heel so he could do something entertaining and fun. The fact that he had to audition to do that and he was willing to shows you the dude, he's not the problem. All of you WWE fans, I'm glad you have found something that you like. I am not hating on your right to like what you like. That is entirely your right. But it's also my right to call most of, if not all of the storylines to an extent in WWE garbage, illogical, at points just disgusting. Some of the lengths they go to get heat are utterly disgusting. That's not saying other people in other companies don't do that. It's also disgusting when they do it. But when you have the worldwide leader in WWE doing that, setting that example, Don't tell me it doesn't matter when they do that stuff. You want to be the biggest, best, and most wide-reaching wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever the hell you are, company in the world? You have billions of dollars coming in through all these revenue streams. And the best you can come up with is, can they coexist? Oh my God. All right, what are we going to do? What's going on? There's riots going on. Okay. There's a lot of protesting going on. Let's oh, guy got it, pal. We're going to have Retribution debut, and they're going to riot backstage. That's the best you can come up with? Oh, Mustafa Ali. How do we get him and Kofi in the ring together? No. We can't do a logical storyline. No, come on. This is not even me having fun. I'm pissed about this. 202 Degrees is in the chat. Ali was a Triple H project too. All of Triple H's projects will be released. I mean, it looks like that way. It looks that way. 202 also says Ali is known to be every pro wrestling promotion. Yeah, I mean everyone knows Ali, I guess. Races in the chat says, I can see Triple H starting a new NXT in his vision without WWE backing. I mean, we'll see. He first needs to get healthy, and then I don't know how that family dynamic would work, but I believe that Triple H would start his own wrestling school way more now than I would have like a year ago. 100%. It's like night and day. I mean, I still think it's unlikely that happens, but it makes more sense now than it ever would. 202 also says, he is Ricochet's best friend. It would make sense that Ricochet would be asking. I sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes it's really not that easy. Everyone has a different situation. Everyone has a different perspective, a different experience. So until Ricochet speaks on that, I don't know if we can make anything clear, if any of that will be clear. Races in the channel says, watch WWE use the Forbidden Door for the Rumble. You can't do that. Tony Khan trademarked the Forbidden Door. You do that, you'll get a lawsuit so quick, WWE. But, yeah. Guys, keep those questions in the chat coming. Hit that like button to help out the algorithm. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Daily videos on the NFL, the NBA, and pro wrestling as well. We do a pro wrestling podcast, which is returning on Tuesday. Real Take Wrestle Talk, live Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the YouTube channel. So subscribe for that. Cincy in the chat says, Omar has the best Vinnie Mac voice. I mean, that just happens sometimes. I don't know. I get possessed, according to Trevor. But yeah, I mean, Mustafa Ali, again, for those of you just joining, has asked for his release from WWE. WWE has not commented and likely will not comment on this, and they have so far not released him. I doubt we will see action on that today. Mustafa Ali, of course, has not been on TV since November. For a lot of people out there who might be saying this might have something to do with paternity leave, it has nothing to do with that. Sean Ross Sapp has confirmed that. And now the only thing left to really talk about is the future. What does the future hold for Mustafa Ali? What does the future hold for Adil Alam, which is his real name? The future is honestly whatever he wants it to be. He mentioned, as I'll actually read out the tweet officially that he sent out. Again, he sent out a tweet where he requested his release right here. This is Mustafa Ali's Twitter. I am requesting my release from WWE. I have a message that is much bigger than my dream in pro wrestling. Despite my best efforts, I will not be able to deliver this message while working with WWE. Therefore, I am requesting my release from WWE. There's obviously, I have thoughts on what this message could be or would be. I'm going to wait for Mustafa Ali to really explain that on his own. I'm sure he will at some point in the near future. And I'll let him speak on that. I don't want to speculate on what his message might be. But I can tell you from following him, from who he is as a person, it's likely a message that's going to be helpful It's a message that's going to start hopefully good conversations and yeah. And again, he's one of the good people. It's the only thing. One of the few things you hear from Mustafa Ali is he is one of the truly nicest, good, easiest to work with people there is. So, like down to earth, like everything. So, when someone like him asks for his release, like it's time to admit that there might be a problem, and it might not be the wrestlers. It might actually be the company that's continuously releasing wrestlers, the company that's continuously putting out a bad product, the company that is continuously just failing to live up to their own reputation as allegedly the best wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it, company in the world. 202 Degrees says Triple H should release himself. I mean, hey, you never know. Cincy in the chat says Triple H should definitely start a wrestling school when he gets better. 202 in the chat now also says Tony Khan trademarked the Forbidden Door. That's right. That he did. 202 also says Triple H and William Regal would easily make a wrestling show without WWE. They have the brains to do it. I don't want to speak too much on the Triple H thing because I think, again, if you want me to give you a percentage chance, like a year ago, it would have been 0%. Now I would say 10%, which is a huge jump from 0. But I think we'll have to see what happens. Again, he has to get healthy first. Then you have to factor in what that would mean for his relationship with Stephanie and Vince and all that, and how that would work if he ever did do that. Because that's why I think it's more likely for him to start a wrestling school than anything. Promotion might be a lot. I don't know. But I mean, you also gotta think about the other thing. Like Shane McMahon went away. He left WWE and did something else. So I think it's also even more possible that Triple H just goes away and does something that's nothing to do with wrestling. That's also very possible. So again, but yep, Mustafa Ali gone from the company. And I think we're heading down the home stretch. We're going to be wrapping this up as I do have a stream for the wild card game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys today. So I got to rest my voice up for that, and I have to get ready and prepare stuff for that. So we'll be wrapping this up shortly. So put your last few questions in the chat. Hit that like button, please. It helps out the algorithm, helps more people see the video, and helps my self-esteem as well. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, if you're feeling frisky, generous, what have you, please hit up that link in the chat or leave a super chat to guarantee your question or statement is read out on the air. This also goes a long way to helping us put out more content, helping me feel better about committing time to this. But again, also just keep your questions coming. Cincy says I'll try to be there on the stream. By the way, Cincy, congratulations. First playoff win since 1992, 91 for the Bengals. Congratulations there. Did you know that the first text message about the Bengals winning the playoff game, the first text message about the Bengals winning a playoff game was sent yesterday? Because in 1991, when they last won, text messaging didn't exist. So there you go, Cincy. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that. Races in the chat says, what did Shane leave to do? Oh, Shane left in 2010. He left in 2010. I believe he went to go do something related to a television company in China, or a telecoms company in China, something around those lines. And he had some early success, and then he left. He came back to WWE. When he came back, he didn't come back as like an executive or anything like that. He came back as a performer, and I think now he's taken up a little bit of a backstage role. I'm not too familiar what that role is, but yeah, he did leave, and he left for 16 years. He was gone for a long time. So again, it shows you like people can leave and come back. It's possible even within the family, but. Yeah, we'll see. Again, the Triple H thing, I'm not sure, but big news of today: Mustafa Ali requested his WWE release And we're going to have to see what happens from here. And when it does happen, we will cover it live, hopefully, here on Real Take Sports. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please, please, please be sure to leave a 5-star review and hit that follow button as well. I've been Omer from Real Take Sports with this breaking news update. And as always, remember to keep it real.